Darbar is a Hindu temple in Khandwa, Nimar region, Madhya Pradesh, India. Sometime in the 18th century, he set out in search of Lord Shiva when, someone told him that it is said that Narmada Kankar, Shiv Shankar, Shivji can be found in the river Narmada. He travelled all the way from somewhere in Afghanistan and reached the banks of the river Narmada. When he did not find Lord Shiva there, he asked the people around if Lord Shiva could be found anywhere. He was told that Lord Shiva might be found on the banks of the river and he must start walking along the banks in order to search for him. Over the years during his parikrama many other sadhus joined him and formed a jamaat of around 200 sadhus. In the night when everyone else would be sleeping, he would make malpa and halwa, sweets, in big vessels for the entire jamaat. Whenever there was a shortage of ghee, form of cooking oil, he would go to Ma Narmada, dip his utensils in the water and it would get filled with ghee. Later, when the jamaat had enough provisions of their own, he would go and return the ghee to Ma Narmada. After completing 12 parikramas, when Gauri Shankarji still did not find Lord Shiva, he was saddened and grew disillusioned with life. When he started to walk towards the river, a little girl held his finger and asked him what he was doing. Gauri Shankarji was in an angry and disappointed mood and he replied back that it is of no concern to the little girl what he was doing. The girl replied that she knew that he was going to end his life in the river because he did not find Lord Shiva. Gauri Shankarji's anger had still not subsided and he shot back, "Who are you?" To which the little girl replied that she was Narmada. A slightly subdued Gauri Shankarji then asked her why she had not fulfilled his wish for darshan of Lord Shiva. Ma Narmada told him that Lord Shiva is in the guise of a young sadhu named Dadaji, in his jamaat. Gauri Shankarji knew who Dadaji was and found it hard to believe that he was Lord Shiva. Gauri Shankarji was skeptical that once he would go to see Dadaji, Ma Narmada would disappear, and what if Dadaji is not Lord Shiva? Dadaji Maharaj was sitting on his heels and washing utensils when Gauri Shankarji came behind him and called out to him. Dadaji turned his head around to look over his shoulder and appeared to Gauri Shankarji as Lord Shiva. Gauri Shankarji could not believe what he was seeing and rubbed his eyes thinking that maybe he was hallucinating. When he opened his eyes he saw Dadaji sitting and again in a few seconds he saw Lord Shiva in Dadaji's place. When this carried on for some time, Dadaji said to Gauri Shankarji that if was still finding it hard to believe then he should come closer and touch him. When Gauri Shankarji touched him with his hands, Dadaji again revealed himself in Lord Shiva's form. Lord Shiva was in the legs folded and sitting posture when Gauri Shankarji touched him. At this point Ma Narmada appeared and on seeing the two of them together said that she was glad to see that Gauri Shankarji's lifelong dream of doing Lord Shiva's darshan had come true. Gauri Shankarji's aim in life was fulfilled and he said to Dadaji, "Abap Hamari Gadi Samhalo, now you sit on my seat." Meaning that Dadaji should take over the jamaat. Dadaji replied, "Hum tum Hari Gadi Pai Tadi Kardi Hine, I sit on your seat." He told Gauri Shankarji that he has no interest in taking over the responsibilities of the jamaat and that he will be leaving the jamaat now. He also told Gauri Shankarji that he should not reveal immediately to the jamaat that Dadaji is Shivrup and that he should take the jamaat a few miles further before revealing the truth. Gauri Shankarji took his jamaat a few miles further to Koksar where he revealed the truth to others and took Jal Samadhi. It is said that Dadaji appeared in Digambar Roop, without clothes, in the form of Ramlal Dada in Hoshangabad where he performed many miracles. He stayed there for 3 years and again his soul left his body one day when he fell into a well. After a few days he again appeared in Digambar Roop sitting under a tree with a dhuni, holy fire, lit near him in the Himalaya jungle of Sahatpur. Around 1929, Dadaji left Sainkata and travelled to Kayapanar, Bagli, Ujjain, Indore, Navgat Badwa, Dadwa and finally Khandwa. He got ready to move on and started to move when a Sthani, lady from the business community, Parvati Bai, came to him and said, "Maradal Bait Ka Bandara Kake Jana Padaga, you must eat these offerings before you go." When she refused to budge, Dadaji said, "Akha Bai hum to Sodi Hine, tu Teri John, okay, I will sleep now, you do what you want to do. Parvati Bai made an offering to Dadaji from outside his wrath, and after some time when he did not wake up, they picked up the offerings and ate it. It had happened on earlier occasions too, when Dadaji would sleep for 2 to 3 days at a stretch. After 2 days a strange, sort of madman went to the police station and told a policeman that all these people are mad and that their Dadaji has taken Mahasamadhi and they do not even know this. The policeman came to the place where Dadaji's wrath was camped and told the people there this story. On seeing them, Shadi Dadaji started saying to them, Han Hanbya, Dadaji ni Samadhi Leli. Along with other disciples, Shadi Dadaji got Badi Dadaji out of the wrath and laid him on a wooden bed. He laid down 24 rules, rituals, and regulations for Dadaji's Samadhi's Seva and Darbar's Seva. Even today these pujas, artis, and other rituals are followed in all the darbars. Miracles by Dadaji. Dadaji's name and fame was spreading like a wildfire everywhere when a group of sadhus, holy men, from Kashi decided to test Dadaji and see for themselves if he was indeed as great as his reputation. Before the sadhus from Kashi reached Sanketa, Dadaji kept saying to the Jamaat, today is our test, be prepared. The moment the sadhus from Kashi arrived in Sanketa, Dadaji started reciting the Vedas, shlokas, and mantras, holy scriptures and hymns, loudly. Similarly, there were 3 men, a lawyer, a doctor, and a teacher, who did not believe Dadaji to be an incarnation of Lord Shiva. They thought that if Dadaji was truly an incarnation of Lord Shiva, then he would not have any problem in having poison as Lord Shiva did. They went to Dadaji with garlands of rose, sweets, and a bottle of poison in their bag. The 3 men were shocked and left after realizing their foolishness without any doubts in their mind about Dadaji. In Sanketa, Dadaji used to sit under a bel tree with his dhuni lit next to him. One day when she opened the door of the Shiva temple, she was astounded to see Dadaji sitting in place of Lord Shiva. Thinking that her eyes must be deceiving her, she turned to look where Dadaji used to sit and saw Lord Shiva in his place. It is said that people could come to Dadaji anytime they wished to but could not leave without his permission. He stayed with Dadaji for almost 17 to 18 days and had still not got the permission to return to his home and family. One night while sitting with his Jamaat of sadhus, Dadaji called this man and ordered him to fetch some water from Manarmada. As soon as he did that, Dadaji started abusing the man and ordered him to leave for his home immediately. The man, totally shocked, and wondered how he would reach home in the middle of the night without any transport. Since he was ordered to leave for home, he did not have any other choice but to do as told. When he somehow did manage to reach his village, he saw that all the houses in the village, except for his, were burned to ashes. On inquiring, he realized that when he was pouring water in the dhuni, as told by Dadaji, the whole village was on fire and only his house did not catch fire. Once a young boy who was studying under a street light in the night was put in the lockup by a policeman on suspicious grounds. When Dadaji heard about this, he got so angry that he went and broke all the street lights with his stick. When the policeman came out after locking up Dadaji, he saw Dadaji standing on the road with his stick in his hand, smiling at the policeman. She told him that she has to get her daughter married but cannot afford it as she is very poor. Next day, early in the morning, Dadaji came to her house, and when she greeted him, he said to her, "Move aside, I want to pass stool." He then got up, told her to cover his stool with ash and left her house without saying anything. The lady's husband chided and scolded her for this, saying that what kind of guru she has, of all the places why did he come to their kitchen and pass stool? When she picked up the ash-covered stool, she felt it to be a lot heavier than expected. When it fell on the ground and the ash blew off it, they noticed that it had turned to gold. They picked it up, washed it, put it in a plate and took it to Dadaji. From a distance Dadaji started saying to her, "Why are you showing it to me? Go get your daughter married." When the woman and her husband came closer to Dadaji, he said, "Don't you understand? I have done this to get your daughter married." The woman went home and sold a part of that gold to fund her daughter's marriage and made jewelry from the remaining gold. Even today the descendants of the woman who got married have the jewelry which was made of Dadaji's stool that had turned to gold. There are many such cases where Dadaji has rescued his devotees from terrible mishaps. Dadaji was one such saint, who never preached, never had to take support of any mantras or holy scriptures. Anyone who was sick mentally or physically would go seek his blessings, and Dadaji would hit them with his stick, abuse them, and they would get cured.